Insert crowd noise later. Guys,
We'll edit it in.
we'll edit it in, guys. We'll edit it in. Hopefully you're cheering at home. Appreciate you. If you're watching us live, really appreciate that. We're coming um, a little bit soon as usual. Just because we're punctual like that. Um, it is almost 5 o'clock on Tuesday. We are here in Nashville enjoying a beautiful day. Um, Hopefully you are doing well and staying rested, and maybe you're working or just getting off work, hopefully. But we got a good podcast for you today, full of excitement. And to be honest with you, who knows where it goes? Who knows? Who knows? But I hope you're buckled in. And yes, this is going to be a bumpy ride, a very bumpy ride. Tim, are you buckled in?
I am.
Yes, sirree. Um, Mentally and physically.
That reminds me of the seatbelt that Elvis had on his bed on his plane.
Yeah, a picture. I took a picture of you in the front of the pool table, and it popped up, and it just popped up on my memories or whatever or something. But it's trying to get me to. But I guess that my phone really likes that picture of you because it's asked me a couple times to post it. So, but
Well,
it's a
I'm
nice pool room. That was a nice pool. What a unique spot. What a unique spot. We had such a good time.
I don't
I
see
was
us
like,
live on YouTube, so I'm trying to.
Tim's over here, doing his wizardry. Yes, I didn't know you guys probably knew this. Tim is a part-time wizard, a Christian wizard. So don't get your panties in a bunch. Christian wizard.
What's a Christian wizard? I don't know what that is.
No, basically, no.
Yes, yeah, I don't do the.
No, I can't.
Okay, live. We're live on No Sugar No Cream. So that's good. Let me click on that one.
You're so much better on the computer that you describe what you're doing is wizardry. Tim Sarah with his wizardry again, making it happen. In fact, Tim does have a nice. Well, that's kind of bummer. You can't. Well, no. There's one on each side. Tim got a nice mug from Graceland there, and I don't. Did you? You probably noticed once you at the bottom of the cup, it has the symbol in Graceland on the inside of the cup.
Yes, there is. So, it's printing on the inside, and
pretty cool. Pretty cool. And well, I didn't mean to do iced coffee today, but there's a cool little setting on my Keurig machine to do. It was already set on it for last time, and you put it over milk and ice or however you want to do it, and then I just sweeten it up. Not with sugar though. I definitely didn't sweeten up with sugar. Here I am, and then I mentioned milk too. I'm gonna get kicked off. No sugar, no cream. Hopefully you guys like our little decorations here. We try to mix in some of our own interests and stuff. I've been into pop figures, but here lately I've been collecting Pokemon cards. It's just something that's I love things that will increase in value and something to hold on to. And when something increases multiples more than the stock market, it's kind of fun to hold something like that onto. A lot of the cards I projected to be like 10x the value just in the next 5 years. So that's pretty neat. But you never know. We take that risk just so you do with any investment. But it's something fun to hold on to. And then of course the action figures. I do the turtles. I collect the turtles from the 90s. I grew up in the 90s, but we didn't have. I was homeschooled. Didn't have TV. So, but the neighbor kids had turtles. So we learned about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the neighbors. He had. I think I'm drooling on myself. He had the toys, which our parents would let us have the toys, but we did get a little bit of G.I. Joes. We mostly did Legos. That was our big thing, Legos. And my brother still has a huge collection of Legos today. That's probably worth thousands of dollars. many thousands of dollars.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, he's kept all his from growing up, and I mean it just I mean Lego is very much even and plenty of adults do Legos. In fact, the first the show they did for Legos was adults building Legos, a competition. Because I mean, you got all these artists that make these Legos, and then you put it in a box, all the pieces, and so send it off. Somebody buys it and they put it together themselves. But there's got to be an artist that comes up with a concept for that. Whatever might be a vehicle or a building. But yeah, so that's when I got into Turtles, and I didn't get to collect any as a kid, so I ended up now I've been collecting them over the last few years, and I've had the original 4 Turtles that I originally bought for only $200 about 10 or so years ago, and those are probably worth about 1,000 now. The 4 of them are about worth $250 each, and I'd like to get some of them graded in the boxes. Do that at some point, but I'm kind of just trying to get it all. My room is a mess with boxes and stuff from collecting, and been trying to get organized. Got plastic containers and stuff, but Tim and I nothing. I have a couple. I think is that next month, Tim? You got a concert coming up?
Yeah, June. Well, no, it's 2 months. This is April,
months.
So June 5th.
Right.
June 5th.
June 5th. I got a couple. Gonna go to a couple comedy shows later this month. Got those booked for Theo Von, and then who was the other? Oh my gosh, what's his name? Can't even think. My favorite guy. He's from SNL. But yeah, a big fan of Theo Von. In fact, Theo Von just had Jake Paul come on the podcast, which was really unique. They had a good time just laughing back and forth, which is funny because he's definitely given Jake Paul a hard time. Some jokes have come Jake Paul's way over the years with Theo Von.
Well, nephew, we're not on
YouTube.
We're not on YouTube.Tim Wolf. We're on YouTube. No Sugar, No Cream.
Bummer.
And it's selected Tim Wolf. We normally go live on there, so I don't know why I can't see it. It doesn't show up on the homepage, so I'm not sure why it's not going live. So apologize to you who are looking for us on that channel. But we are live on both Facebook pages, my personal and Tim Wolf, and we're also live on No Sugar, No Cream, No Sugar, No Cream YouTube channel, and we're live on Instagram. So 4 out of 5 ain't bad. I guess. I don't know what the glitch is. I don't know. So I guess we go with it. It is what it is. We keep going. I'll upload it to the Tim Wolf after. I'll download the actual video and upload it, but it's just not on there live. So we continue to learn from things that don't work perfectly. I did verify that there's audio. We did an entire 45-minute video once with us just.
Yeah, we had to delete that one.
Yeah.
Luckily, the only time we had an issue with the video, losing video, that was just at the end of the podcast, and it was just a couple minutes.
Yeah, one time we lost video,
and I just put a little note like in the comments.
Yeah, because my phone wasn't being charged, and using my phone as the camera. And I mean, we're learning. We don't have a professional team helping us. We do it ourselves, and I think we do a pretty doggone good job. I think we do.
Bob stopped working for fish.
Yeah, we
Bob stopped working for fish.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know, Bob was a penguin, and he worked for fish. Didn't I make that joke before that for some reason, like paying somebody with a fish or something? But yeah, So not too much on the I'd like to. I'm still looking for a vehicle. I would like to get a Range Rover. little bit more than I want to spend.
A Range Rover.
Yeah,
huh?
I've always liked those Range Rovers. Those they look really, really, especially the sport ones. But they just looked. I just like the style
You
of
like
them.
to rover with rain in the range.
That's it. That's their slogan. That's and if it's not, it should be. Rover
the range. Rover the range.
Somewhere over the Range Rover.
Somewhere rover the range.
Somewhere
Oh.
Rover.
Okay, let's leave
that's
that.
their mascot.
Let's leave that.
Mascot's Rover. Come here, Rover. I gotta name my dog Rover now. But yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm gonna be, man. We haven't seen the beach since December, which is funny to say December, because yeah, that's when we were last on vacation. Took a family vacation December. I think I'm gonna have to take some kind of trip down to like Florida or something. I don't know if you knew in the news they just voted here recently. That people, if they're not seeing what you did, they don't know that he does Bobby Lee thing, or he over exaggerates what Bobby Lee does.
Bobby Lee, you can be on our podcast anytime.
Love Bobby Lee. I think his special comes out in the fall. There he recorded it, but I think it's going to be on Hulu. Driving by making noise.
Yeah, I left the window open. Maybe we should have closed the window. We can hear the cars going by. We live in a development.
I think we're okay. If it gets to that, we'll put it down.
We can hear the cars going by.
I don't hope it doesn't. Windows way too far away. We've already started. So far away. But they just we have I always keep my eye on houses for sale and stuff, and even it sparked Tim's interest. But they just here's another reason to buy a house in Florida. They just voted to have no property tax in Florida, so it'd be huge. Can you imagine a completely open? Well, of course they're going to get you with the especially if you're closer to the ocean, probably they're going to get you with the insurance, homeowners insurance.
Yeah,
but that's awesome not to have
that. So we and I don't really know all the ins and outs between the different cities, and I do know. I mean, my fantasies that I would be living on the beach. My metric is, or my goal is, I want to be able to leave my front door on foot and in 5 minutes have my feet in wet sand. That's my metric. I want to be that close to the beach. I've been saying that for years. We've looked at townhouses. We've looked at all different. There was some townhouses. It was a hotel. They were completely renovating it, and they were selling it. And I actually had a buddy of mine look at it because he said, "I know about real estate. I'll take a look at it." And it just ended up being, it was a co-op, and so they were even talking about having that you were going to have to put in like $40,000 or something, and it was like the purchase price was cheap, but that wasn't the whole story. There was other things. So, and then that's on the you could be on the East Coast, you could be on the West Coast, and Tampa just seemed like a wonderful place. I've heard that Tampa is a great place. And did I find it, or maybe you found it? There was a property, relatively new.
I found a house that's on the ocean, but like it's
on
like
an inlet, and they had a dock in the back. You could pull up a boat, not a yacht, but you could pull up a decent sized boat and park it there, and then you could have access. I mean, just fantasy about, hey, let's go out to dinner, and you will walk out on your dock and you get in your boat, you start it up and you motor through the waterways and you go, hey, let's pull up at this restaurant. And you pull up and you tie up your boat and you go in and you eat, and then
somebody yells at you, "This is my house." Well, sorry.
But it just sounds like romantic fun. But then as I got more detail, I'm still not saying I'll never do that, but they're saying watch out for the flood insurance, especially in Tampa. Flood insurance will kill you, is what someone had told me who had lived down in that area. So I remember going down to. I played a gig in Mississippi. It was right on the water. I can't remember the name of the town, but it was everything. And I looked at real estate. I said, "Man, I love this little town. Man, I should look up that town." But as I drove there, I drove from Nashville down. As I drove down, I saw a bunch of houses that were on stilts, and I saw one house that were on stilts that were 2 stories tall. I mean, they weren't even worried about the first. They weren't even going to let their first floor. The stilts were so high, it was like 20 feet high, 2 stories of stilts, and then the property started. And I'm like, there must be a sign. They must have a lot of floods. And they said exactly that. They said they flood big time. Can't remember the name of the town. It was a quaint, cute little town. Loved it. And the properties were very inexpensive, but flooding more than hurricanes. Even they said it was a problem. I wish I could remember the name of that little town. Maybe I'll Google it when you take over the mic later. But so there's all different opportunities, but you don't know what the pros and cons are. I mean, you got the hurricane issues, and to be on the water, you could be exposed to hurricanes, and that's an issue. Oh, unless you go to Europe. I mean, now I got a Valencia, Spain. I'm obsessed with Spain, the Mediterranean coast of Spain, and there's Valencia because I go to First Watch most mornings to have breakfast, and there's a server there, Grace, and she was a WNBA basketball player actually, and professional basketball player till she had 2 ACL injuries, or even 3. I think she had 3, so she kind of ended her career. Anyway,
third leg.
ACL. You know what an ACL is, right?
Right. I was pretending like you could only get one on the knee. So 3. He was like, "Oh, she had a third." She
re-injured it. Yeah. And she was saying about Valencia, and she said they have a lot of fruit there. It's right on the ocean. Because a friend of mine, a co-writer of mine, would say his fantasy or one of his goals was to move to Valencia, Spain. And I just remember he mentioned that, and I didn't know much about it. And so somehow, I come in the morning and they're not that busy, so I visit with the servers, and we were talking about Spain. I don't know how it came up, and she said that she used to live in Valencia. She was put up. She was the team. They paid for all the costs, and she said Valencia was absolutely amazing. And I've heard my co-writer that I used to write with, he mentioned. So I've heard it from other data points. Valencia is a really cool place, right on the beach. They don't have hurricanes there. They don't have hurricanes. I don't believe there's no hurricane problem in Mediterranean. That's only in the south of the U.S. I believe. I mean, if we're wrong, somebody correct us. Actually, I do love making some misstatements in our videos, because then when we clip them, the righteous indignation from people that correct us and tell us we need to go read a book or something, it helps boost our engagement. So bring on your righteous indignation rant comments. Had a guy say, because I was talking about Chuck Yeager, who broke the sound barrier. And I remember, it's been a long time since I read about him. I remember that he had an injury and he couldn't raise his arm. And in the video that we did, because I was doing it from memory, how it came up, we were talking about Tom Wolfe, who was the author. You were asking me what authors I liked. And Tom Wolfe, who did The Bonfire of the Vanities and some other, not Thomas Wolfe, We Can Never Go Home Again, older guy, older, decades before. Talk about Tom Wolfe. He died. He wrote a book called Man in Full, which they did a series on Netflix recently with a famous actor played the lead part. And again, I can't think of his name, but Tom Wolfe was a great writer. And he wrote The Right Stuff, which was not a novel. It was a real story. And he talked about the Mercury 7 astronauts. And he talked about at the same time, the same type of groups, pest pilots who broke the sound barrier. And I mentioned it just because we were on the subject, because you asked me about Tom Wolfe. And I mentioned about The Right Stuff, that he'd written that. And I mentioned that Chuck Yeager was included, and Chuck Yeager broke the sound barrier. And I remember the movie, The Right Stuff, and I read the book as well. And he had damaged his his body so he couldn't close the cockpit door, but he knew that if he told his superior officers that he would not be able to run that flight, and he knew somebody was going to break the sound barrier because they'd worked their way up to it. And he hid from his superior officer that he had a damaged body, and since he couldn't raise his arms, I said that he had a broken arm. Well, that was incorrect. He had broken ribs. Same effect. He couldn't raise his arms.
You lie.
And I lied.
You lie.
But before I posted the short clip, I looked it up and I corrected in the description. But we had a couple people who were very indignant about the fact that I represented that he didn't break his arm, he broke his ribs. Read a book, learn some history. And I'm like, the righteous indignation of some obscure detail like that. Thank you. Please post that because it helps our engagement. And do your rant posting. We welcome it.
How
bring it on.
Yeah, you.
Rant posting helps our engagement.
This is manifest destiny. Or something like that.
You know your judo well.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
So sometimes we'll have, we're just ad-libbing it. We don't get to get, maybe if we're a professional podcast, we would get together and pre-review our topics, but this is live, ad-lib, and we don't even discuss what we're going to talk about. We just start talking.
Like the last name of my podcast was Unscripted Banter.
Yeah, and the wonderful name. That's basically what we do.
Now.
And we would have named it Unscripted Banter, but that name had already been taken. So we named it something else.
I'm locked out of that account. That's mostly what
your partner locked you out.
Yeah.
I will never lock you out. And you will never lock me out. I trust.
Of course not. Master Tim knows the ways. I know no password. Tim has access.
Oh, you have the access to a couple accounts, don't you?
Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. And YouTube? Don't you have YouTube? I'm not sure.
No, I don't think not YouTube.
I'll have to get you on YouTube. So anyway, yeah, we just talk about and we've been having great success. Thank you. Those of you who are watching our clips and on YouTube, No Sugar No Cream YouTube. I mean, I think we had 8,000 views last month, and that is doing very well for us.
For our clips, that's pretty
cool. And also on our Instagram, our clips are doing well. There was one clip that did 7,000 views. I mean, if you're watching Bobby Lee or
Bobby Wee,
or you talked about him earlier. What's his name? The guy you like, you're going to go see.
Theo Vaughn.
Last weekend. If you're comparing us to them, we're like insignificant compared to their millions of views. But for where we are, just a couple of guys.
So don't do that.
A couple of guys.
So don't do that. Don't compare us.
We're happy. We're happy with having you on board with us, and we're just having fun. And we hope you maybe are entertained. And maybe learn something, some obscure fact that one of us has stored in our brain.
I want to be famous.
You do or don't?
I want to be famous.
You want to be famous. Okay.
I want to have a big podcast.
Well, you got to start. You got to be consistent. I mean, look at Bobby Lee. How many have they done? They're at 500 now, right? Bobby Lee and Bad Friends, they're at 500.
Yeah, they're.
And we haven't even made 100 yet. We're going to be at 100 here this year.
We're cooking.
We're cooking.
We're in the kitchen.
We're shaking and baking.
Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake. We're cooking.
Cooking. We got the ingredients. 84. This is 84. So that's 16 to go. And we'll be at 100. And I'm in my mind, we're going to do something significant. So that's 4 months away. If we do it every month, every week, we've been doing it every week. So that's 4 months away. We need to do something significant for 100.
Put the yeast in there. Let it rise. Let it rise for 10, 15 minutes.
If you got,
Tim, I'm teaching them how to make it grow. Put the wheat, the sugar, and the flour.
Chef. So we want to do something special for 100. Well, I think we should have a cake. I think we should have some guests. What should we do for 100? If you guys have any ideas, maybe a contest, maybe a giveaway. We should give away some merch. We should do it up for 100. We should start talking about it now for our 100th podcast.
Yeah. Hey, if you have a good story or something, let us know. We'd love to do a live call.
Have a
For the
viewer on with
podcast
us. Yeah,
or something like that. That'd be kind of cool.
I think we should have a bunch of guests but not a bunch, maybe a handful. I don't know who.
An audience. Have an audience.
Have an audience. Yes.
$50 a person. We pay you $50 to come.
Would that be enough?
Please come.
Would 50 be enough? We can do 60. Maybe
it will be enough. It'll be enough. Banana bread's included.
Chef Seth will make banana bread, and he will also have some barbecue food there.
Ooh, barbecue.
Yeah, hamburgers. He makes incredible smash burgers. Smash burgers, Chef Seth. You've got to have some of Chef Seth's smash burgers.
I was just thinking, in your grill, your what do you call it? Pellet grill? What's it called?
Pellet grill. Yeah, smoker grill.
Yeah,
smoker.
Oh my gosh! I was like, I would love to do some spare ribs in there.
Let's do it.
I was like, I think there. I just need your help to probably to turn on and everything and get.
It's easy. Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Oh yeah, slow cook some ribs.
We both like to eat.
Yeah, we like some. We haven't done barbecue in a while. It's been
too long.
December, I think we did, or is it Thanksgiving? Ugh.
That smoker is lonely. My smoker is lonely.
Usually,
Tim, how come you don't use me? Don't use me.
I think we usually try to do what? Pork butt
and prime rib.
Very nice. And then
very nice.
I'll mix some cheesy corn and mashed potatoes.
We for Thanksgiving we had a feast.
Yeah, buddy.
We had a feast.
Good stuff.
I'm getting hungry even talking about it.
I know. I got a steak marinating in the fridge right now. So that's something I like to do every once in a while. But I think I'm about out of lighter fluid. Or I'll do them in a pan too, because once I have it marinated for more than 24 hours, oh my gosh, I marinate it with seasoning and stuff, and then I put it in a bag and fill it up with Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce is the bomb, and I've been using it too. I put some in I broke up the hamburger meat when I made burgers last night, and put Worcestershire sauce and the burger seasoning I like this. Weber has a really good burger seasoning, and then an egg and Worcestershire sauce, mixed it up and made a couple patties, and that makes some good patties, and it seems to keep it the egg really makes it stick together, and you don't lose as much juices. It's really good. So and then meatloaf is something fun I've been making.
You're killing the meatloaf game.
Loving the meatloaf.
Chef Seth meatloaf.
Woo! And then one of Tim's buddies comes over to write, and I try to give him as much stuff
and the sugar cookies.
I give him all my sugar cookies. I gave him half my sugar cookies because I was just going to.
Well, he's coming over tonight. We'll ask him what he thinks of what he thought of the sugar
make
cookies.
A cake. I have the cake mix. The only thing that we don't have 2 pans of the same. I need 2 the same size because then I could make like a thicker cake because it calls for 2 pans, and we have a square one and a round one. I guess I could I could still make that work. I could put the square one on top of the round one. That it looked kind of funny, but I mean, it isn't my first cake I've ever make. I'm using just a box, pretty simple stuff. That's something I could work on. I did bread. I made some bread. That was okay. Buns, the burger buns. I made burger buns. Those weren't as good. Those were like too heavy. Too heavy.
No, I like that. Yes, I did. In fact, I saw you threw them away. Or the buns. Maybe they weren't burger buns. What buns were they that you threw away?
The burger buns. Yeah.
No, the small one. They were small.
Yeah, those were the burger buns.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they were a little small, and then they just didn't turn out like wanted.
I liked them. They were dense. Yeah. They were hard, and they were dense. I ate one, great, just as it was.
Yeah, no,
as
I
it was.
remember Dingo saying like Italy and stuff. Like you're like the breads over there. You think of a big bread, but their bread is like really hard, like on the outside, especially. Like the breads are really hard. Did you experience that in Italy? Do you remember having some of the bread?
But it's fresh on the inside, I think.
Right.
I mean, I've been in Italy in decades, and when people ask me your favorite country, I always say Italy because I have such great memories there. But I haven't been there in decades. The last time I was in Italy was
I was thinking that you had been
30 years ago. Because I have this goal of going to every country in the world.
That one cruise ship that you guys went on without me, you didn't stop in Italy?
Didn't stop in Italy.
Didn't stop in Italy.
Didn't stop in Italy. And so I love to travel. Love. And the last 2 years this year and last year I didn't travel, and to my great regret. But I usually try to do 10 countries a year, maybe more. And so I have this thing, so I'm trying to hit every country in the world. I don't repeat. So I've been to Italy multiple times, but if somebody twisted my arm, I'd love to go back. I mean, in fact, yeah, I'd love to go back to Italy, Venice, all the places. So,
and of course we like to cruise. So if they're on the ocean, it is so easy just to take a cruise and just hit a bunch of stops along the way. And I really like to do that in South America. I found one cruise where we hit like Chile and everything. Like that would be a nice way to knock off some of South America. So,
and Africa, I've never been to the continent of Africa. And so I actually looked into a cruise. It was a smaller ship that went to, I think, 15 countries. It was like a 2-month cruise. And I just thought, because of the price of it, I think it was $15,000. And I thought, man, I'm going to be the youngest person on there. And I mean, it'd be okay, but I'd rather be with a range of ages on the ship. And I actually considered that. I mean, going up the west coast of Africa and stopping at so many ports. I mean, 15 countries that you could visit. And I looked into it, and it's a big time commitment. 2 months, maybe it's 2.5 months. That's a long, long time. But yeah, so many objectives. The cruise that we went to, the Mediterranean, I booked it first myself and told your family about it, and then you guys came and booked back to back, and I decided whether or not to do a back to back, and I decided to go along, and then it was to go to Egypt and Israel, because I've never been to the Holy Land, and I've never been to Egypt, and both of those had an overnight in port. So an overnight in Egypt. So you could be in Egypt 2 days. You could even stay overnight if you wanted to on land, if you wanted to, or you could come back and overnight in Israel. So you got 2 days in Israel, 2 days in Egypt. And then that's when the fighting started that fall, and they canceled that ship. Well, they didn't cancel it, but they sent an email saying, okay, you have 3 choices. You can get your money back. 2 choices, I guess. You get your money back, or you can go on the cruise, and we're rerouting it to different ports. And I missed that email. I get so many emails. And since I booked there, they were sending so many marketing emails that I didn't open those emails. That's probably they counted on it. And ended up, it was too late to cancel it. And we ended up going to ports in Greece and Turkey, which ended up being okay. We went to Cyprus as well. So, and then I went to Malta by myself ahead of time. So I hit 4 countries. I'd never been to Greece. I'd never been to Turkey, and I'd never been to Cyprus. And so I hit Malta as well. Malta and Cyprus are island countries. And
was that Turkey that had it was ridiculous how big that terminal was. I think that was Turkey, right? They had that giant terminal. We walked through probably for 2 miles trying to get out of that terminal. Had a really large terminal, like it was an airport.
Istanbul.
Yeah, I think it was probably Istanbul.
I don't remember it as being so large, but Istanbul was large. It wasn't that large, I didn't think, but
there was one where we walked through quite a bit.
Yeah, probably Istanbul. Really, you're probably thinking Istanbul. I enjoyed it.
3 security checkpoints to get out.
Boy, I don't recall that part. Maybe I and we went to one of the wonders of the world.
You might have blocked it out. It was really annoying.
I probably did block it out. I mean, was built as a cathedral, and for 1,000 years it was the biggest cathedral in the world, and now there's been larger. And then when Turkey was conquered by the Ottoman Empire, which was Muslim, around 1300, I want to say, they converted it to a mosque, but it's still open to the public. And went there, had to wait in line about an hour. I was with your dad, and yeah, I could see your dad. Your dad's a pretty patient guy, but I think he was like, "Why are we waiting in line for this? Why is it worth it?" He didn't say that, but I could tell from his. I don't think he was that excited about going in. But I was not going to go to Istanbul and not go to that. And I wish. What's the name of that place? Take the mic. I will look it up.
I got the mic. I got the mic in me. Or no, magic. I got the magic, and we're copyrighted. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We'll probably do a couple cruises later this year. The family always, my parents especially,
Hagia Sophia.
Of course,
Hagia Sophia.
What a sport my dad was to go along.
Massive dome. It was the largest dome for a long time, architecturally.
Were you able to take some pictures?
Years. Yeah, I've got pictures. Yes,
nice.
Videos, pictures. So, and the food was amazing. Istanbul. Of course, you get the Muslim prayer 5 times a day, and and you had different mosques competing, doing the prayer. Well, I don't want to imitate it, but I did for a second there. It's a very forlorn holler, I guess. And competing mosque would be doing it. You could hear.
I thought somebody shot you for a second.
What's that?
I thought somebody shot you for a second. Good stuff.
Yeah. So went there and then went to a bunch of cool Greek places. Santorini. Is that the place with the blue domes? I think that's Santorini. Went there, and I thought that was really cool. Then I got tired of it because it's overrun by people. Just way too many tourists. Way too many people. And actually, I met a server, a beautiful young Greek woman. She was actually Greek and Egyptian. She's from Egypt, and she was our server in the hotel. And she said that she gets tired of all she served tourists because that's the main in Athens. That's the main revenue is tourism. And she got tired of all the tourists, to be honest. I think she felt comfortable enough for me to start telling me how she really felt. And I said, I'm going to Santorini. And she said, that ain't worth it. And then she named 3 others. I wrote them down. I got them in my notebook. These are much better. They're off the beaten path. Tourists don't know about them. So next time we go back, we'll have to go. I wrote them somewhere in my book, the ones that she recommended. We look them up and make sure that they're all good. But
yeah, I usually didn't do like big excursions, but my brother, like my family, they planned some for us. I remember going to out of Australia, going to New Zealand, and I think that's where we saw the monk thing. I saw these giant monk, old, which some of them are still being used to an extent, but they're way up in the mountains. And oh my gosh, there was so much walking. You have to walk up just to get up to the area where it is. And I mean, goodness, I guess you have to worry about being attacked much or anything. And then this is the area too where they'll have you have the holes where probably even people lived in those caverns in the mountains, and they kind of like they basically just dig into the rock, and then you have yourself a house. You have your house 3 walls. You just need to make a door, and you basically have yourself a house, but you're kind of like out and away from everybody. But people do that for safety, being persecuted or whatever, But man, some of the scenery, I love getting pictures of beautiful sunset or like trees. I think it's kind of funny. One of my favorite things is just the setting of man. You watch Yellowstone. That's a good. The cinematography when something we always mention when we're watching a movie, if it has really good cinematography and just the way it looks, the view, Yellowstone is good. I guess I need to get out to Wyoming, and it looks so beautiful. Seattle, Washington was really beautiful. We went to after, or was it before we went on the cruise. We went to 2 cruises back to back, one to Alaska and then one to Hawaii. And before the cruise, we did a day trip that was like a guided tour and everything. And I remember getting a kick out of the guy because he looks a lot like Tom Green to me, which is a comedian from the 90s that had a show called The Tom Green Show. But he did an amazing tour and really knew his stuff. And we in a bus, and he's takes us to this park, and just the views as we go up to this park, through this park. And we even saw a bear cub like sprinting. Oh man, we couldn't grab our phones fast enough to get a good picture of it or video of it. But this bear cub, or medium-sized bear, sprinted in front of us and then just sprinted so fast up this cliff that was the cliff that was right next to it. And man, you could see how a bear could chase down a deer if it wanted to, because man, the bears are so fast. It's something. It's so funny when you see something like that. That's like it's so big. You can't imagine, like, you can't outrun a bear. You better play dead or something. You cannot outrun a bear. They might look fuzzy and like they wouldn't be very athletic. You can't outrun a bear, but you definitely can probably outrun a panda bear. Those are known. There's some funny clips on there just talking about how it's a miracle that panda are still alive. They say even now, if you hand a panda what they love, the green stuff they love, bamboo. You hand them some bamboo, it will hand over its child to you for that bamboo. I was watching the clip. I was like, this can't be real.
Are you sure that's not AI? I mean, AI generates so much stuff now. I'm just saying.
No, it's like it was a
science thing?
History. Yeah, it was a science thing talking about,
or history. Well, we are. So I did find there is a place I can go on our app where it tells me. No, I did enter in. Yeah, now it's only 5. Yeah, so there's only 4. Yeah, so Tim Wolf did not go live. It was not live, and I don't know why. Tim Wolf YouTube did not go live, so it's the first time. If those of you are watching us on YouTube in the past, I can't even turn it on. Okay, I can't even turn it on. So, we continue to find new ways to fail. And we're on 4 channels, though. And if you're watching us, thank you. But if you usually watch us on Tim Wolf YouTube, not streaming today. And I set it up to be streaming, and I don't know why. So
we're just going to fail our ways to the top, guys.
Fail our way to the top.
Just like the professionals. They do it. You wonder how some people keep their jobs, and he's like, "No, we're going to fire you. You get a raise." But yeah, most of you are still on Facebook. Appreciate you guys. Please share the podcast. Leave us a comment. We do really appreciate that.
We do. But, thank you so much.
Love coming to you guys live. Watching us on Spotify. We're on Apple. There's no video on Apple, right? It's just audio, right? Spotify, I know, video.
Spotify's video.
I think
Apple is uploaded through the Spotify app. It could be a video. It could be because I upload videos. It could be a video on that. We need to check it out. We need to check it out and see.
Look.
We are, but
look, silly. Look. I'm talking to myself, sorry.
Yeah. So we're on videos on Spotify and we're on Apple. But whether it's video or audio only, I need to double check that. I will report next week with what I find.
And then where most podcasts are found, but yeah, appreciate especially the Facebook audience. We a lot of people watch us there live, and we get a decent amount of listeners there. So appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
And we will see you guys next time.